So we're here at the Giant's Ring, which is just south of Belfast. It's actually in the town, just on the outskirts. Now this site is very interesting. It's got a dolmen inside it, and it's a great kind of henge with 5 gaps within the main bank. So this is very interesting. So it's contemporary with Stonehenge and even Avebury. And no one knows what it was used for. No one has a clue. It could be a Fomorian site. It could have been inhabited by the Tuatha De Danann. We just don't know. But what's really interesting about this is that it dates back to 2700 BC, which is quite old for this area. And it's one of the largest sites, actually the largest henge, the largest site in the entirety of Ireland, not just Northern Ireland, but the whole of Ireland. So the sun's just starting to set. We're doing some drone footage here so you can get a bird's eye view of this particular site. And this dolmen is actually just off center. This site is over 600 feet wide. At one point it's 666 feet, and the dolmen, which is off center, makes it a very interesting geodetic and geometric point within the whole site. You can just see as you walk into this place, it's like a huge bowl. It's not defensive. There's nothing that suggests it's a defensive enclosure, because the banks and the ditches are the wrong way round. And you've got a sacred burial site right in the middle, this dolmen. They actually found some Neolithic remains in here, suggesting it was a very, very important person who was actually buried here within the Giant's Ring. Other things have been found here, but it's just the location of the dolmen which really grabs my attention, because it's clearly Neolithic. The whole site is Neolithic. And so it's got this feel to me of like Avebury, because it's got such a huge bank around the edge. But we're just approaching the dolmen, so let's have a look at that more closely. So you can see this is like a classic dolmen, which we see in many different parts of the world. It's got many stones holding it up, and the capstone, which probably weighs around 10 tons, on top of it, which is kind of fallen down a little bit now, but very interesting nonetheless. It's made of basalt, like many other sites are, and it is just one of these classic sites. Very unusual to find it inside such a ring like this, but very important nonetheless. And it's a very interesting, quite small dolmen really, but some of these blocks must weigh in excess of 10 tons. I'm actually fascinated by this. You can kind of sneak in there, kind of get in there. Some of it looks like it's been kind of smoothed off over time and worn down, probably just with people sitting on it. Like you can see an example of that here. You can see the way the capstone is kind of resting upon these other rocks, and to me that would suggest a piezoelectric effect with all the crystalline nature of the rock, similar to what we've found at many other sites. If you actually go inside it here, you can just see this is where the burial was, right inside there. I'm actually inside the dolmen now. I thought I'd just squeeze in. It's always a bit treacherous. You never know if you just timed it really badly and the whole thing's going to collapse. And just while I'm inside, you can see the sun sort of shines through this particular area. We're getting towards Beltane now, so it could have an astronomical function. There could have been a shadow effect here that kind of leaned and went out into the circle, and it could have acted as a calendar dolmen. Or it could have been some other purpose altogether. It's just strange that it was in the middle of this great area here, where clearly this was the sacred spot within this great amphitheatre here at the Giant's Ring. So I'm just getting a feel for it here, and it just does feel amazing. I'm really blown away by this place. And you can just so you can see where the capstone above me there is touching the upright here. You can see the other stones within the dolmen here. That's the way I came through. And you can see the sun starting to set over there in the distance. It's just like dolmens we find all over the world, from Jordan to Korea to North America, like North Salem dolmen, Britain, even examples in Colombia. It's amazing.